Ladies and gentlemen, 500 subscribers! What's going on? Why aren't you... So, like, I don't even know where to start, like, with this video. When I made my 100 sub vid, you know, I said, one day I'll make 500, 100,000 subs. You know, when I said that, I knew it was a possibility it could happen, but I thought it was like 1% possibility, 0.1%. Did not think it would happen in my lifetime. I thought I'd fall off or something. But I didn't, and now I'm here with 500 people that decided my content, my comic dubs, my dumb videos I make occasionally, that they liked it enough to subscribe to my channel, which I still don't know how to feel. I like it, no ego bustier, but oh my god, I still have no idea what to even do about it besides make this video. So, you know, here I am making it. So once again, like the 100 sub video, I have this little, bullet point script thing right here to help me gather my thoughts and have actual things to talk about, so I don't just ramble and say nothing. So I do have, comics in the future that, I do have my sights on that I want to do dubs of. I'll have to ask the original, comic artists to do them, which, usually every artist that I've asked, they've given permission, have been super nice. So, I don't expect this to be any different, hopefully. But, so expect, a couple more. I'll still find some more, I usually always have a backlog of stuff I like to do, so I'm usually never wanting for comics to dub, so don't worry about that. Next up is hold on, let me just, sorry about that, I had to get my phone, but I did, if you saw my post on the community tab, I did say, hey, I'm doing a Q&A, so ask your questions, so and someone did ask a question, so I figured I'd answer. At Flamigo also does comic dubs. Maybe you should check him out. Just a thought. But she asks, what inspired you to become a voice actor? Congratulations on the subscribers. Thank you. I don't think there's one major thing that inspired me. I mean, I can't think of various things, like obviously just watching shows in general, and I think if there is one major thing I would have to point out, it would be, just seeing other comic dubs, especially like when I was in the early Undertale fandom, when it was like first coming out in that first year or two, and everyone was making comics and comic dubs, and there were like compilations, and I'd watch them all the time. And obviously that's where a bunch of people would show what their interpretation of the characters' voices were, and I was thinking, I always thought that was so cool, and I always thought, it was very recently that I thought, hey, what if I decided to make my own dubs? What if I wanted to make my own interpretations of what these characters could sound like? Now, am I any good at it? That's I hope so. I feel like that's for you to decide, not me, but I hope I'm doing a good job. I probably did, since people like it enough to subscribe, but and obviously if you're a true ball knower, you'd see like my very first comic dub video on the channel. It's a little comic that I made, something that I drew, which it's something I drew just like on a whim, and also on a whim I thought, hey, what if I just make some silly comic dub of this, even though I had no experience either acting or even editing. I hadn't edited a video at all before I made that, so I was just learning everything on the fly, and I'm still learning everything on the fly. So everything is just, by the seat of my pants, on this, which, is that the best way to do this? Probably not, but I do look up tutorials at least on how to like edit and other things at least, so that's good. Next up, I want to talk about. So this is also inspired by Flamigo. She recently started doing gameplay vids, Let's Plays, and that's got me thinking, what if I made gameplay vids of games I want to play and maybe share with you. I'm not sure if I'll probably do it anyway, even if no one responds to it. I'll just give it a test run. I'm just not sure how it would work out, because usually most of the time I am somewhere else that's not like with a good PC. Most of the time I'm with this laptop that I'm using right now, and it is not good for games. It is not powerful at all. It can barely run anything. So if I do want to like play like any sort of game, I'd have to do it on like the one that can actually run things. So they'd be very sporadic, or at least very short games that I complete in like maybe one session. And so I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about, and maybe I'll test out one day. When will that day come? But it's just food for thought. And obviously you can like suggest, if you want to, anything, game I want to play, comics you might want to see dubbed, anything else, I'll be sure to hopefully check it out. But, I do read like all the comments, and I think that's it. I hope that's it. I hope I didn't ramble for too long, and I hope I didn't bore you. I don't know, I'm still stuck on just how far I've gotten with this. I still don't know what to say. Just thank you for staying and watching my content, liking it, commenting if you ever want to. I'll try to keep this train going, for putting the coal in the steam thing, whatever, the furnace. Anyways, that's about everything I've gotten for now, so I'll see you when the next dub comes out, hopefully. It'll probably come out soon, next week maybe. I usually do it on the weekends, so anyways, glad talking to you. Thank you.